Blackpink is the revolution.
Hey boy.
Blackpink in your area. So.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the 11th episode of the Worst Entertainment Companies. Through this series, I try and shed a light on the poor management and mistreatment idols are subjected to by their companies. I personally find it important for us as fans of K-pop to be aware that the industry is far from perfect and to keep the conversation on these issues going. In today's episode, I will be talking about J&Star Company. J&Star claims that they are striving towards being a trustworthy and reputable entertainment company, but their recent actions towards their band The Rose, however, have proven that they are not what they claim to be. They have been taking advantage of their artists by presenting them with rigorous schedules that are filled with an unrealistic amount of promotional activities without actually paying their artists for their labor. J&Star Company is a small entertainment company with only 2 artists signed to their label. Because of this, I was unable to find when or by who the company was founded, although I suspect that they were founded in the last few years, as their About page states that, quote, "We value authenticity, which will help us grow into an entertainment company that the public can trust," end quote. After 3 years' time, it would become very clear that J&Star was not living by their own statement. The first artist to sign with J&Star Company would be The Rose, a band who initially went by the name Windmill and that formed near the end of 2015 as an independent band that wrote their own songs. The band wanted to reach a larger audience, and so they decided to attend multiple auditions and eventually were accepted into J&Star Company. 1 year later, on August 23rd of 2017, the band officially debuted under the name The Rose with their single, Sorry. Their debut gained quite some attraction as the general public seemed to take a liking to The Rose's soft rock sound. 2 months later, they returned with their second single, titled Like We Used To. By December of 2017, the music video for Sorry had garnered over 3 million views on YouTube, which is an astounding number, especially for a rookie K-band. The public weren't the only ones to acknowledge The Rose's talent, as Billboard named Sorry as one of the best K-pop songs of 2017. By the end of 2017, The Rose was able to hold their own solo concert in Korea while only having released 2 official singles. Around that same time in December, J&Star Company announced that The Rose would be going on a European tour. The tour was made possible by fans through their requests on Makestar. Shortly before their European tour started, it was revealed that the tour had completely sold out. The success of their debut made it seem that The Rose's career was off to a flying start. In January of 2018, the band received even more praise when Billboard named them as one of the top 5 Korean breakout artists, and they also received a nomination for Rookie of the Year for the 13th annual Soompi Awards. In March, it was announced that The Rose would be extending their Painted Rose tour by scheduling performances across North and South America, with the American leg of the tour running from May until June. Among the many announcements, The Rose's first mini-album Void was released the next month on April 16th of 2018 alongside the title track Baby. On September 17th, My Music Taste announced that The Rose would go on an encore tour throughout Europe and Australia, starting from November up until December. This announcement, mind you, happened barely 3 months after the American leg of the tour had wrapped up, leaving The Rose with barely any time to catch a break. In the midst of the preparations for their encore tour, The Rose returned with She's in the Rain, the title track off of their second mini-album Dawn. But not too long after its release, She's in the Rain started receiving criticism when viewers noticed that the music video featured Instagram photos of Chaennie member Junghyun, who had passed away the previous year. J&Star Company posted an apology to The Rose's Twitter account The statement explains that they were unaware of the fact that the photos were being used in the music video and that it was an artistic decision made by the production company that they were working with at the time. The statement reads, quote, "The agency revealed the official description of the song, which reads, 'She's in the Rain' is a song that expresses comfort to those who are tired because of the loneliness and difficulties in life." Beat Logic received the description of the song and included the photos on set in commemoration of Junghyun. We, J&Star, and our artist The Rose went into filming without recognizing this, and this occurred as we did not know about it even until the day of the music video release. J&Star and Beat Logic both have the same stance that this was not carried out with ulterior motives of using pain of a specific individual for business or marketing purposes. Regardless of the reason, J&Star expresses deep apologies to his family and agency SM Entertainment. We also express sincere apologies to fans who cherish The Rose and the many fans who cherish the late Junghyun. That same day, an apology written by the director of the music video was posted onto The Rose's Twitter account. In his apology, he expressed his remorse for his carelessness as he didn't ask for permission to use the photos that were eventually used in the music video. The original video for She's in the Rain was taken down by J&Star Company as a result and was replaced by an entirely different music video. But as we know now, that wouldn't be the last controversy that J&Star Company would have to deal with. J&Star wasn't quite finished exploiting The Rose's international success despite their overly busy schedule in 2018. In April of 2019, The Rose appeared on the survival show Superband. The show aims to recruit the best musicians in order to form a superband that is able to play a variety of different genres. However, only Woosung made it to the finale of the show and eventually placed fourth with his superband Monet. J&Star most likely wanted to use the newly found exposure of Woosung to their advantage because after 2 months of having been occupied with rehearsals and recordings for Superband, Woosung made his solo debut with Face on July 25th of 2019, not even a week after the finale of Superband had taken place. That same week, J&Star Company announced the We Rose You World Tour. New tour dates were gradually revealed over the weeks, and at last the band was set to perform in 22 cities all over the globe. The tour was scheduled to start on August 17th and would wrap up 4 months later on December 15th. Less than a month later, The Rose made a comeback with the title track and single album titled Red. But since the comeback and tour preparations happened simultaneously, it only allowed The Rose to promote their newest release for just a few days before having to take off for their world tour. And even when The Rose was supposed to have some downtime from their tour in October, the band was still taking part in promotional activities. It appeared that J&Star Company wasn't going to let The Rose slow down anytime soon. After 3 years of constant promotions and tours, The Rose had enough and gathered the courage to speak out against J&Star Company. On February 28th of 2020, it was reported that The Rose had filed a lawsuit against J&Star Company requesting for the termination of their contracts. The band stated that J&Star enforced unrealistic and overly occupied schedules without their approval, which in turn is a violation of their contract. The band also claimed that there were many issues regarding payment. According to The Rose, there was an overall breakdown of trust between them and J&Star Company, which led to them filing a lawsuit. That same day, J&Star denied The Rose's claims and reported the following. Quote, "The Rose unilaterally notified the company of the termination of their contract, and they claim that they will stop attending performances and broadcasts arranged by the company. The terms of the contract and content discussed in the certification of contents have no legal force. The Rose must dutifully take on their current ongoing schedule." End quote. J&Star clarified that there hadn't been any sort of violation of contract, as they claimed to have discussed the schedule with the members of The Rose beforehand. They also stated that they provided the members of The Rose with payment information and that they had received confirmation that The Rose had indeed received these documents. The company then went on to confirm that they would be taking legal action against The Rose to prevent any further damage. They also stated that they intended on receiving a compensation from the Rose for defamation of character. Four days later, the Rose's law firm released a statement in which they discussed the details of the lawsuit. This statement also proved that J&Star Company wasn't as forthcoming as they claimed to be. In the second paragraph of this statement, the law firm laid out the issues with the inconsistent payments. They stated the following, quote, "The Rose received their balance statement from the agency J&Star Company on January 31st of 2020. Despite the fact that the exclusive contract states that payment should occur every month, the first balance statement was distributed on March 27, 2019. At the time, there were no earnings to be distributed, and enough profits to be distributed were earned at last in 2019. However, even then, one member had a negative balance and had no profits to be distributed to him." End quote. This implies that J&Star provided the members of the Rose with only 2 balance statements in those 4 years that they had been promoting under the company. According to these balance statements, the band had made very little profits despite their constant promotional activities. This could possibly allude to the fact that J&Star Company was withholding profits from the Rose. It is for this reason that the law firm sent a request for documented evidence of the calculation of the Rose's payments to J&Star Company. Since J&Star had not provided a response or any evidence after a 2-week period, the Rose's law firm went on to send a request for the termination of the Rose's contracts, but J&Star again did not respond to this request. This statement also contradicted J&Star's claims of consulting with the members before approving of their schedules, as it states in the third paragraph that, quote, "The Rose was not aware in the slightest about the conditions J&Star Company had set while signing contracts for the Rose's concerts held domestically and abroad. The Rose was unilaterally notified of their schedule of the first half of 2020 without having the members' physical and mental readiness and condition taken into consideration." End quote. Which means that J&Star Company would allegedly sign contracts without the Rose's consent. This would mean that they did in fact violate the terms of their own contract. Finally, on February 27th of 2020, which is 3 weeks after the initial request was sent by the Rose's law firm, J&Star Company provided a response. This response, however, did not include the requested documents and again made the claim that the Rose had not made any profits in 2019. And J&Star Company once again threatened to take legal action against the Rose. The next day, J&Star Company posted a statement in response to that of the Rose in the hopes of clearing the accusations made against them. J&Star once again stated that they provided the Rose with all billing information and that they even informed the Rose on how to check their payments regularly. And again, the company claimed to have written confirmation that proves that the members of the Rose all received this billing information. Besides that, J&Star Company stated once more that they would consult with the band before approving of schedules and signing contracts in regard to overseas performances, stressing that they would only carry out schedules and activities once the Rose approved of them. But what is undoubtedly the most remarkable about this statement is that J&Star Company attempted to shift the blame by stating that, quote, "Until now, the Rose has deceived the agency with numerous lies, including unauthorized absences, problems with romantic partners, and contact and creative activities with third parties, all of which has caused a major disruption to the agency's business plans that were prepared for a long time. These are violations of obligations of good faith and maintenance of dignity which are included in the exclusive contract. Despite this, we nonetheless embrace and forgave the Rose because of the clear, irrevocable damage to their image if revealed to the public. The Rose has rejected even all conversation and informed us of a refusal to take part in promotions such as pre-scheduled concert plans and TV appearances, and announced the termination of their contract. Due to the Rose's unilateral notice, we are suffering huge losses and damages due to the non-fulfillment of plans and events." End quote. Now, this statement makes me personally question if J&Star Company is being truthful about this whole ordeal, because I don't understand why they suddenly felt the need to slander the Rose and lay out all the issues they have been facing since the start of this lawsuit. While I am sure that the loss of their most profitable artist must cause a great financial damage to the company, it doesn't make much sense to me that they would put themselves in this labile position, since they claim to own written documents that prove the company is not at fault. J&Star Company allowed its aspiration of becoming a trustworthy entertainment company to become overthrown by greed. It's clear that the entertainment company did not take the rose for granted, and usually this attitude would be applauded. However, when the opinions and the mental or physical condition of your artist is not taken into consideration, it becomes an issue and is proof of a lack of respect for the artist, especially when those same artists aren't rewarded for their tireless and constant labor. It is taking advantage of the artists solely for the company's own selfish purposes of financial gain. And not only does this dehumanize the artist, but it also reduces them to nothing but a source of income, which is why J&Star Company is one of the worst entertainment companies. This concludes all of the information on the lawsuit between the Rose and J&Star Company as of right now. I tried my best to research this topic to the best of my ability, so please be so kind to correct me if any of the information I presented was incorrect or if I missed any parts of crucial information, and also feel free to leave a comment with any additional information on this topic, because that is helpful to me or anyone who wants to learn more about the Rose or J&Star Company. Any information on articles, music, and videos that I've used in this specific video is linked in the description box below in case you are curious. Lastly, I would like to ask you to please show your support to the Rose, as their lawsuit with J&Star Company is still ongoing as of right now. It would be nice to show the Rose that we as a community stand with them and are willing to strive towards fair treatment within the K-pop industry. While I am aware that simply showing our support to the band won't resolve the issue entirely, it will show the Rose that they don't stand alone, which is what is most important. Their social media will be linked in the description box below as well. With that being said, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped shed a light on the case of the Rose and J&Star Company. I hope you are staying safe, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.
It's a letter from me to you. It goes a little something like la 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 la.